Okay, as we tour through, we're going to go into our demo. So what we have here is a full-scale mock-up. We're working, functioning, freestanding clean room. Got all of our different opportunities here for Portal Core, Portal Pro, Portal Elite doors. Those are all shown off. We have liquid line pass-throughs with a couple of different sizes shown. Okay, electronics integrated into our doors. Lights, HEPAs, wall protection, windows, low wall returns, okay, safety showers, all those great things. More integral door interlocks there. Okay, we have a utility panel built in. We have an automatic door. All right, and that brings us out into our production area. So this production area is 50,000 square feet of space that allows us to take care of all of our production needs for manufacturing, fabrication, electronics, anything and everything in between. So what you'll see here is a full stop electronics shop. So this is where we do all of our wiring harnesses and terminations. We have core elements, things like glue and shipping materials, things of that nature. So things that you would need quickly for jobs. We have our electronics in stock, okay? And then we have where the production starts. So the way I look at this process is it's broken into 4 sections. We've got the initial is raw materials, okay? It's gonna be the first area there. Then we have our panel line, and then we have finished goods, and then we have fabrication over at the last of the shop. So it's kind of broken into quarters that way. So we stock steel here in our factory, sheet steel. It's all able to produce our panel lines. What this sheet steel does is it's in various different sizes and finishes based off of what we actually need to do for the jobs. So we'll decoil with our decoiling line. We'll bring that material through, okay, our leveler, and then we'll shear those sheets. So that would be a stack of sheets. What's great about this decoiler is that we don't have any waste with it. So every panel, every sheet is cut to the proper length at the beginning. We don't order in 10-foot sheets and cut everything down to 9 foot and so on and so forth. All right, so whenever we talk about a panel is gonna be the sheet steel, it's going to be glue, and it's going to be extrusions. The last piece is going to be the honeycomb core, so we'll take you through that here in just a second. Specifically as this works, this is the upstream piece of the process. This is sheet steel, then it's going to be folding, okay? We also can make trims with our folding machines. We have redundancy built in, so we have multiple different folders. These are all prepped and ready to go, and this would be a stack of folded materials there. Okay, so they're primer backed and UPVC faced for that particular application. And this is staging. Okay, so this is all of our upstream staging. So what we have is we have stacks to work for the week. We stay ahead by a week on our folding process. And then we have stacks of honeycomb. Okay, and then we'll have stacks of extrusion that are sitting closer to the actual process. I'll show that to you over here. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the beginning of our glue line. So we take those raw ingredients, we take those skins, and we take the honeycomb core, and we take the frame, and we run it through our laminating machine, our glue line. Okay, so we run the sheets straight through here. It's got a head, sprays glue down onto the sheet steel. Okay, and then it comes out here. We'll lay down those panels. We'll put in the extrusions, we'll put in the core, and then we'll make batches with the press. So we can do 3 batches at a time. We can do about 20 panels in a batch. So you can imagine we can do about 60 panels at any given time. Running them on average about an hour per batch. So you can imagine it's you know, fairly high volume that we could achieve in batching there. This will be some panels that are finished. They haven't quite been tested or inspected yet. Our QC station is set up to where we're able to go in and take a look at the strength, the rigidity, any excess material that's on them. We'll reject them or accept them. And then in the last step here is the crating. So we'll crate those panels. Okay. We'll stack them up as needed. Make sure that they're all stickered up. We got the FM approvals, the UL, all the quality acceptance, all listed there. Okay, and then we'll label those crates and inform folks of where they need to go. We'll add a packing list to every project, every crate, ensuring that we know exactly what's inside of that crate. Okay. So going over to the other side of our business, so whenever we finish the panel line, we'll put them into finished goods. So that's this entire area here. So we'll stage up to 400 crates at a time, each crate being 20 panels. Okay, so multiply 20 by 40 square feet, and you'd get 800 square feet right there. So every crate is indicating 800 square feet. So multiply that by 400, and that's going to be what our any given time finished good capacity is. Okay, that's capacity. We don't always carry at the top. It's just volume based. All right. The other side of the business is going to be fabrication. So that's everything on this core side here. So what we'll do is we'll bring in all those long extrusions. We cut all the materials as needed to whatever shape it is, whether it be, you know, square cuts or 45 miters. And then we'll mill that material as we need to. So we'll put that into our CNC mill. So I'll show you a few examples of what we'll do with those there. Okay, so we'll mill. And then from there we'll put those doors into the welding station. So we'll weld up door frames, we'll weld up whatever particular aluminum elements there are there. Okay, so that's our door process. We will continue the doors on along. You can see some door frames here. That's the interior frames of a door. That's the perimeter trims. Everything's staged up for a project. And then this is where we lay them out and do the final assembly. So you can see they've got their partners, right? So they've got the exterior trims. They've cut out those center pieces there. And they're ready to drop in windows. All the CleanSpace windows being dropped in very soon into those. Okay, everything has to be protected and finish protected throughout. There's an inspection criteria there to make sure that everything meets our standards of quality. And if not, we'll reject it. We'll quarantine and we'll separate that material. Okay, and then the other workflow of our process is going to be stainless steel fabrication. So we'll do things like corner guards and door frames and protective plates and things like that serve to protect our doors or protect our corners as specified by the project. So we'll go in and we'll cut that sheet steel there. Okay, we'll take it from raw sheet steel, we'll cut it with our laser, and then we'll break it as needed. So that gets our folds taken care of, and then we'll come out with, you know, shapes like our door frames or whatnot. So that is the beginning process, and then we'll end with our welding steps, cutting steps as needed. Okay, and then we'll do polishing, right? So that's our fabrication setup. We have full-on capabilities to do any type of fabrication we need to. We have a trained staff that's ready to take on orders, and we're always ready to fulfill whatever quick ship needs are needed. All right, so we're going to end this. Appreciate it. Have a great day.